The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet Margarine, presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, transcribed by the Kraft Foods Company. The women of America paid quite a compliment to Kraft's Parquet Margarine last year. You liked Parquet so well, and you served it so often, you made it the best-selling margarine in the whole country. Here's why Parquet is such a great favorite everywhere. It's the margarine that looks wonderful, tastes wonderful, and spreads smoothly even when ice cold. Why don't you serve Parquet regularly at your house? Remember to get the quality margarine made by Kraft, delicious Parquet Margarine.
Well, this week, Mr. Gildersleeve's dating time has been pretty well taken up with Miss Tuttle, the school teacher. But today, a long black car swished up to the house across the street, and that pretty Miss Paula Winthrop stepped out. Now Bertie's anxious to see what's going to happen when Mr. Gildersleeve comes home.
Hello, everybody. I'm home.
Evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hey, Bertie, whose long black car is that parked in front of Mr. Bullard's house across the street?
Hang on to your heart, and I'll tell you.
My heart?
Yes, sir. That 8-passenger hot rod was driven by an old flame of yours.
You mean? Can it be?
It is.
Paula Winthrop?
In the flesh and in the furs.
Well, there wasn't another passenger with her, was there, Bertie?
No, sir. She's still single.
Just a neighborly interest.
Yes.
Hi, everybody.
Hello, my boy.
Hello, Leroy.
Why are you staring out the window?
Leroy, Mrs. Winthrop is home.
Yeah, I know.
Well, you see Babs every day. Why didn't you tell me her mother was coming?
I didn't think you'd be interested, Unc. The way you've been dating Miss Tuttle.
Well, like I told Bertie, a neighborly interest.
Love thy neighbor, huh? What's Miss Tuttle going to say?
No, my boy, I'm not burning my bridges with Grace just because an attractive, wealthy woman with a big car lives across the street. Young man.
Another one of her ships must have come in.
Oh?
I was talking to the housekeeper over there, and she said Miss Winthrop spent the whole winter on the beach in Florida. That is, when she wasn't out in the ocean on a yacht.
Yeah, Paula always did know how to live.
Yes, sir. Yachting, swimming, dancing, deep-sea fishing.
She didn't have to go to Florida for fish. She's got one on the line right here.
Young man, watch it. I have a date with Miss Tuttle tonight.
Mr. Gildersleeve just likes to look, Leroy.
I'll say he looks at all of them.
Yes.
But just because his head's on a swivel don't mean he ain't got a loyal heart.
Thank you, Bertie.
Yes, sir. Mr. Gildersleeve, you know what you got? You got a swivel head and a loyal heart.
Yeah, good old Grace. She has the light in the window for me. You fine, dependable girl. Not as glamorous and cosmopolitan as Paula Winthrop, perhaps, but... By George, I'll bet Paula led quite a life this winter down in Florida. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of myself for not rushing over there the way a lot of pushy ex-boyfriends would. Gildersleeve, you have character.
Oh, hello, Throckmorton.
Hello, Grace.
Come in. My, it's been so long since I've seen you.
Yeah, last night at the faculty chess party. Well, what'll we do tonight?
Oh, I thought we wouldn't go out after such an exciting time last night. Sit down, Throckmorton.
No, I just sit. I feel like kicking up my heels.
Oh?
How about a movie?
Couldn't we save that for tomorrow night?
Tomorrow night? Well...
As a matter of fact, I got some popcorn this afternoon. I'd planned to fix that and make you some hot chocolate.
Oh, Grace, I don't want you to fool with all that. Why not go out and get something to eat?
Why spend your money when I have everything here?
Oh, what's a little money?
Now, this isn't like you not wanting to sit home by the fire and pop corn. And winter will soon be over.
Yeah. By the way, Grace, you've never spent the winter in Florida, have you?
Florida? No, why?
Yeah, I just wondered if you'd ever been south.
No, I spent one winter teaching school in southern Indiana.
I mean, you've never gone south on a vacation.
No.
Well, nothing like vacationing in Florida.
Have you been there?
No, but a good friend of mine just got back.
Well, Tallahassee.
No, Grace. Let's admit that we get in a rut sometimes.
I don't consider myself in a rut.
But we always do the same dull things. Let's not be afraid to grab some of the glamorous things of life.
All right. Tonight, I'll put a marshmallow in your hot chocolate.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I certainly got a lot of sleep last night. Home at 10 o'clock. I think I'll stop in and see if anything interesting has happened to Peavy. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this morning?
Well, I was on my way to the office, so I thought I'd stop in and see what's new.
Well, I just opened a new container at Tutti Frutti. You care for a cone?
You know I wouldn't eat an ice cream cone on the way to the office.
Yeah, I put it in a carton, and you can eat it after you get there.
Peavy, stop trying to sell me ice cream. I'm still full of marshmallows.
How's that?
Yeah, I had a lot of marshmallows last night.
I wondered if you were eating them for breakfast.
No. I spent a very dull evening, Peavy.
By yourself, were you?
No, I was with Miss Tuttle.
It doesn't sound like a dull evening to me.
Well, it just occurred to me that Grace is very complacent about life. Things can get pretty monotonous that way.
Have you started making comparisons already, Mr. Gildersleeve?
What's this?
I noticed Mrs. Winthrop's back in town.
Did you see that car she's driving?
Got a car? I thought it was a Pullman coach.
By George, she lives in a different world. Very interesting girl.
Yes, she is. It's hard to dislike a pretty girl with money.
Peavy, I think I ought to drop over there and say hello. Just for old time's sake. You might even take her out.
I thought your favorite place to entertain the ladies was in front of a big fireplace.
Well, Peavy, a girl like Paula has to be taken to the best places and shown off.
Well, if you're going to be a show-off, it'll cost money.
I'm not trying to show off. I'm just stepping up into the big league.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I wonder if the water commissioner shouldn't stick to his own little pond.
What's that?
Up in that big league, they spend money like water. All you have is the water.
Nonsense, Peavy. You don't know anything about people like that. You never had any contact with big money.
That's what you think.
Oh?
I used to go with a girl whose father owned a local hotel and livery stable.
Oh, my goodness.
In fact, we used to go in her buggy.
What does that have to do with Paula and me?
I'm trying to tell you, I could have married Miss Applegate.
Miss Applegate?
But instead, I married Mrs. Peavy, and I've never lived to regret it.
Good.
Of course, I haven't lived much either.
Yeah, Peavy may be right. Why should I get too interested in a girl who's here today and in Palm Beach tomorrow? Why, George, that's a big car over there in Paula's driveway. It's a temptation. Nah, I'll just forget Paula Winthrop's in town. Yeah, I'll go in the house, call Grace, and make a date with her for tonight. After all, I've been going with Grace for a year now. Yeah, what's wrong with an occasional evening of chess with the faculty? Or munching popcorn and marshmallows?
Hello?
Grace, this is Throckmorton.
Oh, Throckmorton. How nice to hear your voice.
Yeah, about the movie tonight. I hope you're still interested in going.
I'd love to go.
Great.
I wasn't sure you felt like going.
Oh, yes, indeed. Looking forward to it. So I pick you up about the usual time?
I'll be waiting.
Yeah, I'll be there. Goodbye.
Bye, Throckmorton.
Well, that's that. Now I've got to be there.
That you, Miss Gildersleeve?
Yes, Bertie.
I didn't know you was home.
Yeah, I'm home.
When you come home, you usually say, I'm home.
Yeah, well,
So you know why I didn't know you was home? Because you didn't say I'm home.
my mind was on making a phone call, Bertie.
Yes, sir. Didn't come home early to see Miss Winthrop, did you?
Well, I did think I'd run over there. Then I said, why waste the time?
You call that wasting time?
Well,
That woman gets prettier every year.
she does?
Yes, sir. I got a close-up view today.
You've been over there?
Well, I went over there to return a pie pan which I thought was theirs, and after I got over there, I found out it was mine all the time.
Bertie, you were just curious.
Yes, sir, and I did something about it.
Well, by George, I'm going to do something about it. No harm in saying hello to Paula. I don't have to make a date with her. I've got a date.
Yes?
Hello, Paula. Remember me?
Why, Throckmorton, how nice to see you.
Yes, thank you.
Well, won't you come in?
Well, for a minute.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, I thought I should come over and welcome you back to Summerfield.
Well, you're very sweet. I hope you don't mind the disorder. I'm still unpacking.
No, not at all. Go right ahead.
Oh, you're looking wonderful, Throckmorton.
Well, I'd never know you. You're so tanned and all.
Oh, I've lost a little.
Paula, you haven't lost a thing.
Throckmorton, you're still a flatterer.
No, I've never seen you look so beautiful.
Oh, well, thank you.
She's prettier than ever.
I suppose Florida agrees with me.
Well, we can't offer you anything like that in Summerfield. No beach, no yachting. All we have is the reservoir. Perhaps you'd like to go out there some moonlight night.
Is there a moon tonight?
Tonight? Well, I was only joking. I wouldn't take you to a place as corny as the reservoir.
Well, I'd like to see something of Summerfield. Seems I've been away for ages.
Yeah, we've missed you.
What's there to do in town now?
Well, Irving Hostetter and his Hepcats are still playing in the Crystal Room. We might celebrate your return by going to dinner and dancing sometime. I mean, when it's convenient for all concerned.
I have no plan for tonight, if you want to go dancing.
Tonight? Well...
I know. I'll wear the dress I was wearing in this picture.
Picture?
Yes, here. I just unpacked it. It was taken at the yacht club.
I don't care where it was taken. Let's go.
The Great Gildersleeve will be back in just a moment. Last year, when the Kraft folks made a special offer to families serving delicious parquet margarine, women saved almost $1 million on Powers Model nylon stockings. Now Parquet has a new offer that's even more remarkable. Now you can order Powers Model nylons that are even more luxurious in their styling and an even greater bargain. These new nylons are 60 gauge instead of 51 gauge. That means they have more fine stitches to the inch to make them extra snag resistant and longer wearing. They're guaranteed to be equal in quality to nylons ordinarily priced at $1.65. But when you buy Parquet margarine, you can order them for only 75 cents a pair. They're yours for less than half price. John Robert Powers designed these nylons to flatter the legs of America's most famous cover girls. They're full fashion for flawless fit. You know they're first quality because each pair bears the United States Testing Company's seal of approval. Full instructions for ordering your Powers Model 60-gauge nylons at less than half price are printed in every package of Parquet. You have a choice of 6 sizes, 2 of the season's smartest shades, and 2 seam styles. Just include 75 cents for each pair you order, along with the yellow end flap from a package of Parquet margarine. Tomorrow, be sure to get that delicious margarine made by Kraft, Parquet margarine.
Well, when that pretty Miss Winthrop came back to town, Mr. Gildersleeve said he wasn't going over there. He stood it as long as he could, which was almost 24 hours. Then he broke down and made a date.
Bertie, how can he get so excited he makes a date on the night he's already got a date?
Leroy, that's your uncle.
How can he be so happy when he's got his head in 2 nooses?
Hello, Leroy. I didn't know you were home from school.
Yeah, Miss Tuttle's home from school, too. I hear you got 2 dates tonight.
Oh, that's right. I do have to call Grace.
How you going to get out of it?
My boy, a shrewd old trapper always covers his tracks. And I'm so clever, I cover mine before I make them.
Oh, brother.
The clever trapper's after big game tonight.
What an operator.
Shh, Leroy.
Hello?
This is Throckmorton again, Grace.
Yes, Throckmorton?
Would you mind terribly if we have to change our plans about tonight?
What happened?
Well, an old neighbor of mine just got back in town, and I'm obligated to go over there this evening.
Oh?
Sorry about the movie.
Well, that's all right. I'll go with one of the teachers.
Well, now, you know I wouldn't do this except under unusual circumstances. Like I say, an old friend. I'm sort of a welcoming committee.
You explained once.
Well, be seeing you. Glad you understand, Grace.
I understand. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Well, that's taken care of.
Unc, you didn't tell her your old neighbor was a girl.
There's no use burdening her with details, my boy.
What if Miss Tuttle sees you at the movie?
Movie? Leroy, I'm taking Mrs. Winthrop to dinner and dancing afterwards.
Shooting the works, huh?
Well, she's accustomed to being royally entertained.
Yeah?
She lives the way I like to live. Let's see, 5, 10, 11, 11.50, 75, 12.
What are you doing?
I'm counting my money. $12.
Gosh, you're loaded.
Yeah, I could date Grace for a week on this.
Hey, you want me to wash your old car, Unc, for 50 cents?
Leroy, don't try to get any of my money. Besides, I've been thinking about the car. Well, I'd like to get behind the wheel of that job she drove home.
Oh, boy, I'd like to ride in that, too. How about me hiding in the back seat?
Leroy.
You brought me a lovely corsage, Throckmorton.
You make it look lovelier, Paula.
Oh.
Ooh, that's a beautiful dress.
I'm fond of it.
So am I. Too bad you have to cover so much of the dress with those furs.
Well, I thought it might get cold later tonight. Well, where's your car?
Shall we go in my car? No trouble, of course. All we have to do is walk across the street, unlock the garage, dust off the seats, and see if it'll start. I've been having battery trouble.
Oh, why don't we go in my car? It's right here.
Yeah, it might be a good idea. Quite a car, Paula.
Would you like to drive it?
Well, Leroy wants to know all about it. Yeah, I mean...
Well, you go around and get behind the wheel.
Yeah, just as you say. By George, I get to drive it. This is a long car. Well, here I am.
I've already turned on the ignition.
Let's see, what do we do next? Better lower the window, I guess, to make signals. Where's the crank?
Well, you just press this button.
Oop. I thought we had a bee in the car. Yeah, here's the starter. A lot of horses under that hood. How do you get them to back up?
Aren't you familiar with the automatic transmission?
Well, I still use the gear shift.
Oh, you move this lever to reverse.
Yes. Well, I'll back out into the street. Hey, that's a touchy motor. Zeke, power steering. Where's the brake? Bump something. Hope I didn't hurt your car.
No, you just knocked down your mailbox.
Oh, well, I'm not expecting any letters. How did you enjoy your dinner, Paula?
Oh, it was wonderful. I'm glad you insisted I eat the steak.
Nothing but the best, I always say. What'd you think of the service?
It was exceptional for Summerfield.
Well, when we came in, I slipped the maitre d' $2. Didn't you see me?
Well, you did it so cleverly, I thought you were just shaking hands.
No, that was money I was shaking. Shall we move on to the crystal room?
Yes, let's.
We can be there in 10 minutes in your car. Yes, sir, the evening's working out great. It's expensive, but I still have enough left for dancing.
Throckmorton.
Yes, Paula?
Oh, I just noticed. We're almost out of gas.
Out of gas?
Uh-huh. You better drive in that station on the corner and let me get some.
No. I'll buy the gas. After all, it's your car. Least I can do is furnish the gas.
Well, if it'll make you feel better.
I'd better get out of the car and count my money. Excuse me, Paula. I'll take care of everything.
All right.
Yeah, see, now, I still have a $5 bill. 75, 80, 90 cents.
Good evening.
Whoop.
Fill her up?
Well, 2 gallons.
2 gallons? Don't you want to wet the bottom of the tank?
Now, see here, young man. I could report you to your boss.
I own this station. That's why this hurts me so.
Well, watch it.
I'm sorry, mister. I've been trying to put a motor together all night. And every time I pick up a wrench, somebody comes in for gas. I guess when you said 2 gallons, something just snapped. You see? That's 2 gallons. You can hardly smell it.
I'm not buying it to smell.
How'd you get all the way up from Florida? Somebody push you?
Now, look, this isn't my car. It belongs to the young lady.
Well, I'll go ask her. She doesn't want to be stopping every 5 minutes to buy gas.
No, wait a minute. I'm buying tonight.
Okay. If she gets in the car tomorrow and runs out of gas, she's going to know you're a cheapskate.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
And she's a swell-looking girl. Don't you want to make a good impression?
Well, put in 5 while I make a phone call.
Well, now you're a credit to this car.
Pushy gas salesman.
Is everything all right, Throckmorton?
You're fine, Paula. Yeah, I have to make a phone call. After I pay for 5 gallons of gas, I won't have enough left for dancing. I'll borrow some money from Peavy. Hope he's home.
Hello?
Peavy, are you in bed?
No, I'm answering the phone.
Yeah. Look, Peavy, I'm out with Mrs. Winthrop, and I need some money.
Now, why don't you borrow it from her? She's got more than I have.
I can't do that. Now, if I come by your house, can you let me have a few dollars?
No, I can't.
What?
I left all my money at the pharmacy, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh?
Mrs. Peavy might have some under the mattress, but I wouldn't advise trying to get that.
Well, thanks anyway, Peavy.
You're welcome. Have a good time.
Yes. Goodbye.
Call again, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, me.
Well, you're ready to go, mister. That'll be $5.
$5? I asked for 5 gallons.
Oh, I thought you meant $5 worth.
Oh, I only have $5.80 for the evening.
Well, if you want to run over to the drive-in and get some straws, I'll siphon the gas out of the tank.
Never mind. Here's your $5. What can we do on 80 cents?
Throckmorton, aren't you going in the wrong direction for the crystal room?
Well, Paula, I'd like to talk to you about that. I came up with a Charlie horse when I made that phone call.
Oh?
You didn't see the step. Would you just soon settle for a movie? The Vogue Theater's right here.
Of course, we can always go dancing.
Oh, Paula, you're a brick. I'll put in this parking space right here. 80 cents. Just enough for 2 tickets.
Peavy people are coming out.
Yeah, we're just in time for the last show.
Good. I've wanted to see this picture.
Well, let's hurry and not miss any of it.
Well, Throckmorton, aren't you going to put any money in the parking meter?
Money? Parking meter?
Uh-huh. Well, I don't want to get a parking ticket the minute I get to town.
Oh, yeah, well, I'll put in a nickel. No, I'm 5 cents short for the movie. Oh, what else can go wrong?
Why, Throckmorton.
What's that? Oh, hello, Grace.
I didn't expect to see you here. I thought you were spending the evening with your old neighbor.
Yeah, well, this is my neighbor.
Uh-huh.
Of course, she isn't so old. Mrs. Winthrop, may I present Miss Tuttle?
How do you do? Good evening, Mrs. Winthrop. Throckmorton, you have such attractive neighbors.
Yeah, well...
I know you two are anxious to see the movie. Nice meeting you, Mrs. Winthrop. Nice meeting you.
You wait a minute, Grace. Excuse me, Paula.
Oh, all right.
Grace?
Yes?
Grace, can I have a word with you?
You don't have to apologize, Throckmorton.
No, I want to, later. But right now, can you lend me a nickel?
The Great Gildersleeve will be back in just 30 seconds. One more reminder about Parquet Margarine's remarkable new nylon stocking offer. With every pound of Kraft's Parquet you buy, you can order Powers model nylons at less than half price. These new nylons are 60 gauge instead of 51 gauge, and the 60 gauge are even more glamorous and longer wearing. They ordinarily cost more, too. But you can get them for only 75 cents a pair when you send the yellow end flap from a package of Kraft's delicious Parquet margarine.
Yeah, I cleaned out my wallet entertaining Paula last night. Glad to be calling on Grace again. Won't cost me any money. Yeah, there's something to be said for the simple life.
Hello, Throckmorton.
Hello, Grace. Before I sit down, I want to pay you the nickel I borrowed last night. Here.
Oh, thank you. Oh, but don't sit down.
What?
We're going out.
We are?
Yes, I've been very selfish, Throckmorton, keeping us home when you wanted to kick up your heels.
But...
I haven't been dancing for ages. Oh, and there's a new steakhouse on the edge of town.
But...
Excuse me, I'll get my coat.
I better use the phone.
No?
Peavy, can you sneak $10 out of the mattress tonight when Mrs. Peavy isn't looking?
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman and is an NBC Radio Network production. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Lillian Randolph, Byron Kane, Mary Shipp, Gene Bates, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next week and every week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
There are two kinds of delicious Kraft prepared mustard. Mild Kraft mustard, smooth and delicately spiced, and Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added. And whichever you prefer, remember, when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Try it on cold sandwiches, hamburgers, frankfurters, and cold cuts. Enjoy the wonderful sauces you can make for hot meat and vegetable courses with Kraft prepared mustard. Keep both kinds on hand and keep the whole family happy. Get mild Kraft mustard and Kraft mustard with snappy horseradish added at your favorite food store.
Now play You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx on the NBC Radio Network. The Kraft Foods Company, makers of Parquet margarine, presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. Gildersleeve is brought to you, transcribed by the Kraft Foods Company. Do you know what brand of margarine outsold all others last year? It was the quality margarine made by Kraft, delicious Parquet margarine. Parquet looks wonderful, tastes wonderful, and spreads smoothly even when ice cold. No wonder it's the favorite of millions. Why don't you enjoy Parquet margarine regularly at your home? As a table spread, as a seasoning for hot vegetables, as a flavor shortening when you bake. Tomorrow, pick up a pound or two of Kraft's delicious Parquet margarine.
Well, this week Mr. Gildersleeve's been giving his other girls the go-by because Mrs. Paula Winthrop is home from wintering in Florida. Every time Bertie looks out the window, he's either going over there or coming back. Right now, he's just coming back to get ready to go over again.
Bertie!
Yes, Miss Gildersleeve?
Thanks for pressing my blue serge.
Oh, you're welcome. That's the second time I pressed that suit since yesterday.
I thought I might drift over to Mrs. Winthrop's this evening.
I sure am glad you told me where you're going. I wouldn't have any idea in the world where you're going if you hadn't told me where you're going.
Yeah, let's see if I have everything. Keys, wallet, comb, handkerchief, nail file, and my watch. Hey, my elk's tooth is loose. I'll have to take that to the jeweler before it falls off the chain.
Yes, sir.
Now, by the way, see that Leroy keeps at his homework tonight.
Yes, sir.
I don't want him running over where I am to see Babs.
No, sir.
I don't know why Paula Winthrop had to have a daughter just Leroy's age.
No, sir.
She never misses a chance to make me feel like I'm something that washed up on the beach at Miami.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I have a feeling Babs resents my going with her mother. Last night, while Paul and I were chatting, Babs came in and deliberately interrupted our cozy evening.
Yes, sir.
I wish I could do something to get the girl to like me.
Yes, sir. Well, things has got to be rosy with the daughter if you want to get cozy with the mama.
Yes. Right, George. Nothing like having a girl who lives just across the street. I hope Babs keeps out of sight. She probably has a lot of homework like Leroy.
Come in, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh. Thank you, Babs.
Mother said I should entertain you until she comes down.
Well, if you have homework or anything like that, you just run along. Don't mind me.
In a way, this is homework.
Oh?
I'm writing an essay on old fossils.
Fossils?
And my encyclopedia is right here in the living room.
Oh, I see.
Mr. Gildersleeve, surely you didn't think I meant you. What are you and Mother doing tonight?
Well, I thought I'd take her down to the courthouse basement.
The courthouse basement?
Yeah, your mother and I are going to a square dance down there.
Oh, how ducky.
The city employees are staging a little benefit for the city pound. Have to take care of the lost pets, you know.
Now I know why Mother rushed back from Florida right at the height of the season. She didn't want to miss the dog catcher's ball.
She's not kidding me. I got that.
Mr. Gildersleeve, does Mother ever talk to you about Laddie Chapman?
Laddie Chapman?
Polo player. You see his picture in the Sunday supplements.
Well, by the time I finish reading Hot Shot Charlie and the Dragon Lady, polo players don't thrill me much.
I was thinking of the way he thrilled Mother.
Oh?
After he'd won the last match, he galloped over to the stands and presented his cup to her.
Show off.
Hello, Throckmorton.
Well, Paula, what a pretty outfit. You look like the cat's pajamas.
Cat's pajamas?
Well, thank you, Throckmorton. Babs, have you been entertaining Mr. Gildersleeve?
No, he's been entertaining me. seeing Mr. Gildersleeve. He'll have to sharpen up a little.
Well, hello, Babs. Come in.
Thank you, Bertie. Is Leroy home from school?
He's upstairs, and he'll be glad to see you.
Leroy! I'm busy now, Bertie.
Babs is here.
Who's busy?
He'll be down jet propelled.
Hi. Hello, Leroy. Hi. Does this elk's tooth belong to your uncle?
Yeah, that's his. Unc said it was loose last night.
I found it on the floor this morning.
Thanks, Bab. I'll give it to him.
Do you really want to give it to him? Or let it be lost forever?
Oh, gosh, Babs, Unc wouldn't be without that. It belonged to his grandfather.
One can be sentimental to a fault, Leroy.
What?
Look at the facts. A watch chain across a vest went out with curly hair.
Now, Babs, lay off my uncle. Gosh, he likes you.
I might learn to like him, too, if he'd get with it. I want to be proud of my mother's escorts.
Well, I've always been proud of Unc. Sort of.
That's because you're used to him, like an old shoe. You can get used to measles if you have them all the time.
Now, Babs.
I tried to give Mr. Gildersleeve a hint last night. I told him about Laddie Chapman and Mother's other friends down in Florida.
Yeah?
Mother was always in the society pages.
Well, Unc's had his picture in the paper plenty of times.
I know. Dedicating a new fire plug.
Well, Unc has to go to those things.
He doesn't have to use those moldy expressions. He told Mother she was the cat's pajamas.
Babs, I like my uncle the way he is. Nobody's going to say he's corny.
I'm only saying he doesn't have to be corny. And you can help update him. If you care enough about me.
Yeah?
You do like me, don't you, Leroy?
Gosh. You know how I feel about you, Babs.
How do you feel about me?
Well,
once you said you'd do anything for me.
Oh, sure, but what's that got to do with Unc?
When he calls on Mother tonight, will you come over and take a good look at him?
I see him every day.
I don't know what happens to the older generation, but when they pass 18...
Ooh! Unc's okay.
All right, Leroy, if you don't care about me.
Okay, I'll come.
Keen. See you later, alligator.
Oh, that square dancing was a little strenuous last night. I hope Paula doesn't want to go out again tonight. Yeah, I can entertain her by reading my part in the Founders' Day pageant. Yeah, I'm glad she's here for that. It'll show her Summerfield's an up-and-coming place.
Oh, hello, Throckmorton. Come in.
Thank you, Paula. Shall I just hang up my coat, or do we have to go someplace?
Oh, after last night, I think we're both ready for a quiet evening at home.
You bet. Yeah, I guess we're not as young as we think we are.
Well, that's rather a brutal way of putting it, but I'll have to go along with it.
Sorry, no offense. As a matter of fact, you look a lot younger than you probably are.
Oh, thank you. I think.
It's probably due to the exciting life you lead. Palm Beach, Newport.
Oh, you can only take so much of that. It's nice to relax right here in prosaic Summerfield.
No, Paula, we're not so prosaic. You've been to the Mardi Gras in New Orleans.
Of course.
Well, we have some of the same sort of hoopla here on Founders' Day.
Founders' Day?
Yeah, we celebrate that every spring. Right here is where old Otto K. Summers stopped his covered wagon and founded our city. He was lost at the time.
Oh?
Yeah, I'm glad you're going to be here for the pageant this year. Quite a thing.
Sounds very interesting.
Yeah, I have a big role in it. I thought since we aren't going out tonight, I might entertain you by reading my part.
Mother?
Oh, yes, Babs.
May Leroy and I come in a minute?
Well, yes, dear.
Thank you, Mother. Good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hello, Babs. Leroy.
Hi, Unc. Hi, Mrs. Winthrop.
Hello, Leroy.
By the way, Babs, I haven't thanked you for returning my elk's tooth.
Oh, that's all right. The minute I saw it, I knew it had to be yours. Mother, are you and Mr. Gildersleeve going out this evening?
Well, no, we're staying home. Mr. Gildersleeve's going to read his part in the Founders' Day pageant.
Oh, brother.
The what, Mr. Gildersleeve?
It's a play we home folks put on every year.
You run along, dear.
Yeah, let's scram.
But we'd love to hear Mr. Gildersleeve, if we may. Wouldn't we, Leroy?
Well,
Throckmorton, would you like an audience?
Oh, the kids aren't really interested.
On the contrary, I wouldn't miss it for anything. Stand up in front of the fireplace and recite, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Babs, maybe you'd rather wait and see it and be surprised.
I'd rather be surprised tonight.
Well, shall I read the scene where I'm standing on the hilltop in my coonskin cap and buckskin pants, or the one 10 years later when I'm wearing button shoes and a beaver hat?
They both sound nice and juicy.
I wonder if she's trying to make a monkey out of me.
Go ahead, Throckmorton.
Well, the pageant opens with a lot of people surrounding me on top of the hill, and we're all singing. After that, I look out over the green valley below and say...
Mr. Gildersleeve, you aren't going to skip the song, are you?
You'll hear it later, Babs, believe me.
She doesn't believe I can sing.
Of course, I don't want to embarrass Mr. Gildersleeve.
Well, perhaps you'd like to omit the song, Throckmorton.
Yeah.
No, confound it, I'm going to sing it.
Oh, groan.
I stand there, you see, ready to defend the town site against the Indians, and sing, "Give me some men who are stout-hearted men who will fight for da-dum-da-dee-da. Start me with 10 who are stout-hearted men, da-da-dee-dee-dee-dee." Why, George, I've forgotten the rest.
Oh? Good. Nelson Eddy can stop worrying.
Well, even if you can't sing, you can recite for us.
Yeah, Babs, without the costumes and all, I have a feeling this is a little dull. Why don't we do something we can all join in?
Well, shall we play Scrabble?
That's too much like going to school.
Well, you kids like to dance. Let's dance.
Oh, Unc.
Here, I'll put on one of these records. Yeah, there's a good snappy waltz. Come on, Paula.
Oh, please, Throckmorton. I don't think I can dance again tonight.
I'll dance with you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You? Well?
Why does he always lead with his chin?
Of course, waltzing is a little antediluvian, but...
Oh, it's easy. You just swing into it. The 1 and the 2 and dance. Well, Babs, you're dancing as the cat's pajamas.
Oh, brother, I gotta do something about Unc.
Great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. Wouldn't you ladies like to have all the nylon stockings you need at less than half price? Wouldn't you jump at the chance to order first-quality 60-gauge 15-denier nylons for only 75 cents a pair? Kraft's Parquet Margarine now makes this possible. It's an even better value than last year's money-saving offer. Last year, you could order 51-gauge Powers Model nylons. But now you can get Powers Model nylons that are the new 60-gauge with more fine stitches to the inch to make them extra snag-resistant and longer-wearing. John Robert Powers styled these nylons for the famous Powers models. They're sheer and lovely, yet wonderfully durable and practical. First quality is guaranteed. Each pair carries the United States Testing Company's seal of approval. Luxurious, full-fashion nylons like these usually sell for at least $1.65. But you can order them for only 75 cents a pair when you buy Parquet Margarine. Full instructions for ordering your Powers Model 60-gauge nylons are printed in every package of Parquet. You have a choice of 6 sizes, 2 of the season's smartest shades, and 2 seam styles. Just include 75 cents for each pair, along with the yellow end flap from a Parquet package. Tomorrow, be sure to get the delicious margarine made by Kraft The margarine that spreads smoothly even when ice cold, Parquet Margarine.
Well, it seems there comes a time in the life of teenagers when they think anybody older than a teenager belongs in a museum. Of course, I knew Babs has felt that way about Mr. Gildersleeve for quite a while. But Bertie was surprised when Leroy began noticing it.
Bertie, is Unc home yet?
He's in the den, Leroy.
Dozing?
No, he came home, put on his slippers, and he's in there reading.
Well, I gotta have a man-to-man talk with Unc.
What's that, boy?
Until last night, I didn't realize he isn't keeping up with the times.
You kids left him in the dust, huh?
No kidding. This is serious, Bertie.
Yes?
Unc, can I come in?
Yeah, certainly, my boy.
Thanks. Can I have a talk with you?
Yeah, you bet. You sit down.
Maybe I better close the door.
What's the matter?
Well, Unc, this is serious.
Oh? How much money do you need?
Oh, it isn't money.
Well, I thought you said it was serious.
Well, I don't know just how to say this. It's nothing personal, you understand.
What isn't personal?
Well, let's start with your elk's tooth.
What about it?
If you're going to wear it, you might lose it again like you did yesterday. Maybe you better hide it away someplace, like in a safe deposit box.
Oh, I won't lose it again, my boy. You can stop worrying.
Unc, I got to level with you.
What?
Will you please not wear that tooth and watch chain? Of course, it doesn't bother me, but other people might think it dates you.
I take it you think your old uncle is behind the times.
Well, I hope you'll understand, Unc. I want to be proud of you.
Well, I want you to be, my boy.
And just remember, when you're dancing, you don't start out saying a 1 and a 2 and dance.
Oh, so that's it.
And another thing, you don't tell girls they're the cat's pajamas. That went out with curly hair.
What do you mean, curly hair?
I mean, it's old stuff.
What do you want me to say? They're the cream in my coffee?
Unc, you just don't dig me.
Things are coming to a pretty pass when youngsters start criticizing their elders. I thought the elders were supposed to criticize the youngsters. Leroy doesn't even like my pocket watch. I wonder how I'd look in a wristwatch. I think I'll see what Peavy has. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you this morning?
Well, before I make any purchases, I'll have a cup of coffee.
Well, you'd have to purchase that, too.
Well, I know that. I don't expect you to give it to me.
Coffee prices being what they are, I don't even give it to myself.
You don't?
Every time I have a cup, I put a dime in the cash register.
Oh.
There you are, Mr. Gildersleeve. I think I'll have a half a cup with you. That'll only cost me a nickel.
Why don't you drink your coffee at home, Peavy?
Mrs. Peavy's diluting it now.
Oh. Peavy, I want to ask you a question.
Very well.
Would you say I'm behind the times?
No, I wouldn't say it. Did one of your lady friends intimate that you were?
No. It's Leroy and his crowd.
Well, I don't imagine they consider you any ball of fire.
What's this?
Unless it would be Halley's Comet, and that hasn't been around since 1910.
Yeah, all right, Peavy. You don't seem to take this seriously.
Well, I'm not the one they say is behind the times.
Well, by George, I'm just as up to date as the next fellow. These kids just have immature ideas.
You don't change.
Leroy says I shouldn't use expressions like, she's the cream in my coffee.
Well, I don't blame him. That went out with curly hair.
Gee, where did you get that?
I picked it up from the kids who come in here. I'm hep, Dad.
Oh, my goodness.
I wouldn't worry about it, though, Mr. Gildersleeve. You're just going through a phase.
A phase?
You're in a difficult age. Not young, not old. Somewhere between awkward and quaint.
What do you mean?
You're just plain corny.
Oops.
In their eyes, of course.
No, Peavy, don't try to sneak out of it. You just said I was corny.
I said the kids think so.
Well, I'm not conforming to their ideas. They'll just have to accept me the way I am and like it.
I don't think you're playing it very smart.
That did it.
How's that?
Now you're criticizing me.
No, I'm not. I never criticize a customer.
Well, you just lost a customer. I was going to get rid of my old pocket watch and buy a new timepiece. You wouldn't have anything to suit me anyway.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that.
What?
I just happen to have one cuckoo clock.
Oh, pooh. Can't even concentrate on the evening paper. Imagine being practically called an old fogey by an old fogey like Peavy. No, I shouldn't say that. He's a fine friend. Sorry I argued with him. But can he be right? Does everybody think I'm out of step?
Good evening, Miss Gildersleeve.
Oh, hello, Bertie.
You want your slippers?
Confound it, no.
Why, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh, I'm sorry, Bertie. I didn't mean that. Guess I'm out of sorts.
Yes, sir. Sorry you're feeling blue.
Well, I'm just taking stock of myself.
Oh? Then you ought to be feeling on top of the world.
I should?
'Cause that's where you are, on top of the world.
No, I'm not so sure, Bertie.
You shouldn't be blue. You got good health, a good job, and one of the fanciest titles in town.
Well...
And when it comes to good-looking girlfriends, you loaded. You got 2 school teachers, a travel agent, a girl from the notion counters at Hogan Brothers, and a society lady from Florida.
Well, that's all well and good, but there are people who think I'm a little corny.
Well, you can't have everything.
By George, Paula's been around. She knows whether or not I'm a square. And I'm going to find out. I do want Leroy to be proud of me.
Oh, come in, Throckmorton.
Hello, Paula. Are Leroy and Babs around?
Well, I think they're at the drugstore. Sit down.
Paula, I want you to give me a straight answer. Do you consider me a back number?
Oh, not so far back. Why?
Well, you take my dancing. How is it? I'll shut my eyes while you tell me.
Why, you're no worse than other businessmen I know.
I'm not?
Oh, does it bother you because you're no Fred Astaire?
Well, I haven't had many complaints except an occasional ouch.
Why this sudden concern?
To tell you the truth, I think I'm beginning to embarrass Leroy. And I wondered if others notice it.
What do you mean?
Well, he thinks my dancing's old-fashioned, and I haven't kept up with the jive talk.
Well, if it'll make you feel better, Babs thought it was terrible that I came home from a smart winter resort and hadn't learned to do the creep.
The creep?
New dance.
Oh. Well, somewhere through the years, I'm afraid I missed the boat. Seems I got old-fashioned all of a sudden. Perhaps I take after my father too much.
Oh?
He was really old-fashioned. He was a fine old gentleman, but married to the past.
There's nothing strange about that. My sweet little mother was the same way. I got so upset with Mother because she wouldn't cut her hair.
You?
Throckmorton, every woman was bobbing her hair. Honestly, I thought Mother was positively antediluvian.
Hey, Bab said that about my waltzing. Well, I was always a much better dancer than my father.
Throckmorton, do you realize what we're doing?
What?
We're criticizing our parents just like Leroy and Babs criticize us.
Say, I hadn't thought of that.
I guess it's difficult for one generation to understand the other.
Yeah, but we have to keep up. Do you suppose we should practice some of the new dance steps while the kids aren't here to talk about us?
Why don't we? Babs has some of her records here.
You'll have to show me some of the new steps, Paula.
Oh, they seem to be my old records. Oh, look at this.
Well, the Charleston. I remember when that came out.
Da.
Hey, let's put that on and give it a whirl.
All right, roll back the rug, Throck.
Yeah, you bet. Hey, now Oh, that Charleston was a real dance.
Oh, let's not let the music go to waste.
By George. It's been a long time since I've done this.
That's very fancy steps, Throckmorton.
Watch this.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, my goodness. It's Leroy and Babs.
Zeke, now they will think we're old hat.
Go ahead, Mother. Yeah, don't stop, Unc. Hey, that's real crazy.
It is?
Yeah, now you got it, man.
Well, I don't get it, but I'm glad I got it.
The great Gildersleeve will be back in just 30 seconds. Tomorrow is the day to begin building your wardrobe of glamorous nylon stockings at less than half price. Just pick up Kraft's delicious Parquet margarine when you're shopping. You'll find full instructions in every Parquet package for ordering a pair of famous Powers Model 60-gauge nylons for only 75 cents. Millions of women are cutting their hosiery budgets more than half this easy way. You can order a new pair of flattering, long-wearing nylons every time you buy Parquet margarine.
Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Peavy, I'm on top of the world.
No, you're not. You're in my drugstore.
You know what I mean. I'm pretty happy about the way things turned out with Leroy.
You don't say.
Yeah. He and Babs accept me practically as an equal. Well, I'm hep, Dad.
My.
Yes, sir. The kids really like me. They even asked me to chaperone a party tonight.
Yes, I know.
You do?
Yeah, Leroy and Babs were in here saying what a fine fellow you were.
Well.
And they're counting on the chaperone to pay for 3 gallons of ice cream they ordered here.
Oh, my goodness. Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman and is an NBC Radio Network production. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Lillian Randolph, Barbara Whiting, Gene Bates, and Dick LeGrand. Musical composition by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next week and every week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Done up just right, a delicious hamburger can be truly a gourmet's delight. A big deal in eating pleasure. Of course, just about every good cook knows that a dash of Kraft prepared mustard really makes a hamburger. Because when you add a little mustard, you add a lot of tang. Kraft mustard, naturally. There are 2 kinds of Kraft prepared mustard. Mild Kraft mustard if you like it smooth and delicately spiced. Snappy Kraft mustard with horseradish added if you like it zippy. Get both kinds of Kraft prepared mustard at your food store.
Now play You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx on the NBC Radio Network. The Kraft Foods Company presents Willard Waterman as the Great Gildersleeve. The Great Gildersleeve is brought to you, transcribed by the Kraft Foods Company. Kraft, makers of the famous pasteurized processed cheese food Velveeta. Velveeta is one of the most popular of all members of the Kraft family of fine foods. It's known to folks everywhere as the cheese food of exceptional nourishment and delightful flavor. Enjoy it often. When you do, you may be sure you are enjoying the finest quality cheese food you can buy. Velveeta, made only by Kraft.
I'm Dr. Clarence Olson, by day an intern at Summerfield City Hospital, and by night a rival of Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve. He claims I'm always trying to take his girls away from him, and he's right. I contend the big water buffalo tries to monopolize all the pretty girls in town. That's my job. It's probably parked in Grace Tuttle's apartment right now.
Yeah, are you sure you don't want to go to a movie, Grace?
Not tonight, Throckmorton. I'm a little tired.
Out late last night, were you?
Oh, not so late.
Well, I phoned you about 9, but nobody answered.
I wasn't home at 9.
Well, I was going to phone again about 10, but I fell asleep.
I wasn't home by 10 either.
Gee. Were you at a teacher's meeting, by any chance?
No.
Red Cross?
No.
You went to a movie with somebody, perhaps?
I didn't go alone.
Oh, I naturally assume you'd go with one of the lady teachers.
Stop being so curious about last night. This is our evening.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Oh, excuse me, Throckmorton.
Darn phone.
Hello?
Grace, this is Clarence.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, that's Olson. I know his voice.
I'm off duty. How about another movie?
I knew he was poaching last night.
Sorry, I'm busy tonight.
Oh. Throckmorton?
Uh-huh.
You're not busy. You're wasting your time.
Shh, Clarence.
I want Gildersleeve to hear.
Yes.
Send old Rain and the puss home at 10 o'clock, and I'll come over and save the evening.
Pushy intern.
I'll have to say goodbye now, Clarence.
But I haven't used up my 3 minutes.
He doesn't know it, but he's on borrowed time.
Goodbye, Clarence.
Okay, goodbye, beautiful.
What a phony flatterer.
He is not.
Oh, now, Grace, I didn't mean you aren't pretty. Just that he doesn't have a right to say it on my date.
Well, I'm sorry, Throckmorton, but I can't help it if he wants to talk to me several times a day.
Well, by George, that moth-eaten medic spends too much time over here. Every time I open the door, I smell ether.
Throckmorton, you're jealous.
Well, I'll bet that's Olson calling again. Let me answer it.
All right.
Hello?
Hello, Throckmorton.
Olson, I knew you'd call.
I knew you'd answer. I just wanted to hang up on you.
Oh! Hello, Bertie.
Evening, Miss Gildersleeve.
Bertie, what do you have for dinner?
Tonight, Bertie's got an alibi for dinner.
A what?
Dinner's going to be a little late, and Bertie wants to alibi why.
Oh, well, that's all right, Bertie.
Well, I plan to have a 5-pound roast tonight.
Hey, good.
And when I have a 5-pound roast, I scoot it in the oven at 4 o'clock. And you know how I know it's 4?
Look at the clock.
No, sir. I know it's 4 when I hear the Harmony Twins plus 2.
Harmony Twins plus 2. Who are they?
Oh, they're the happiest quartet on radio.
Oh, I see.
Every day at 4 o'clock they come on singing, when I pretend I'm gay, I never feel that way. I'm only painting the clouds with sunshine.
Yeah, I get it, Bertie.
Blues, beautiful hues, covered with gold, arrow rose, playing a clown, trying to drown all my woes.
Bertie, please. What does that have to do with the roast?
That's my alibi. The Harmony Twins plus 2 didn't come on at 4.
Oh, my goodness.
And Bertie didn't know what time it was, and the roast didn't get put in, and that's why we're going to have stew for dinner. A little late.
Yeah, all right, Bertie.
Hi, Unc.
Hello, Leroy.
What's for dinner, Bertie?
Well, we was going to have roast, but shall I tell him why we ain't going to have it, Mr. Gildersleeve?
No. No, the stew will be fine.
Yes, sir. But it'd be a little late.
Yeah, I know, Bertie.
And if Bertie don't get in the kitchen, it's going to be later. Then Mr. Gildersleeve's going to get in the stew, and Bertie's going to get a roasted.
funny about having stew.
It seldom happens, my boy. And nobody makes it like Bertie.
Yeah, but I got things to do.
Well, looks like you'll have time to do your homework before dinner.
No, grown. What are you going to do?
I think I'll do my homework. Get on the phone and make a date.
I wish I was old enough to do homework like that.
What?
I work at homework, and you work to get over to some girl's home.
Leroy, when you're as busy as I am all day, you need a lot of recreation at night. Well, it's true.
Who are you going to call, Miss Tuttle?
No, I was over there last night, and Grace didn't show me the proper consideration.
What do you mean?
Well, Dr. Olson called, and she stayed on the phone a long time talking to him. I just had to sit there and listen to him run me down.
You're sore, huh?
Well, it seems every time I have a date, he horns in somehow. Tonight, I think I'll take out your school principal.
Miss Henshaw?
Yeah.
Keep her out late so she won't notice all my mistakes tomorrow.
Yep. I'll kill two birds with one shot. I'll give Grace something to think about and get that Olson out of my hair for a night. Yeah, I hope Irene's home.
Hello?
Is this Lilac 239?
Yes, is that you, Gildersleeve?
Olson, you again. Someday I'm going to turn that intern inside out. Well, Peavy has shamrocks in his window. Why, George, he's observing St. Patrick's Day, too. Hello, Peavy.
Hello, Mr. Gildersleeve. What can I do for you today?
I see you have an Irish display in the window.
Well, I have a few Irish customers. I have a few that are Scotch. What do you want, McTavish?
All right, Peavy. Give me a cigar.
Very well. Would you like a green one?
You're not selling green cigars.
Well, I stocked a few, but I'm not selling them. I may have to dye them red and sell them for punk sticks on the 4th of July.
Punk sticks?
Yeah, they're punk cigars.
Peavy, I've never seen a man run down his merchandise the way you do.
Well, that way I have very few complaints, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Oh?
I beat him to the punch and complained first.
Say, there's that sneaky Clarence Olson parking across the street.
Dr. Olson still giving you fits?
Every time I go with a girl, he tries to move in.
Well, perhaps he just admires your taste.
Say, that's a good-looking blonde he's helping out of the car.
Yes, she is. And I see you admire his taste, too.
I haven't seen her around before. I believe they're headed this way.
I'll have to tell Mrs. Peavy about her. Of course, I won't make her sound as good as she looks.
You know, Peavy, this is my chance to get back at him.
Are you going to give him one of my green cigars?
No, but he's always trying to steal my girls. I may just give him something to worry about.
My.
I can be as pushy as he is.
Oh, my, yes.
Come on in, Marie. Well, hello, Mr. Peavy.
Well, hello, Dr. Olson.
Hello, Clarence.
Oh, it's you, Gildersleeve. Mr. Peavy, we'd like to see some compacts.
Very well.
We going to look at compact?
I'd like to buy you one, Marie.
Marie, could be French.
But, Clarence, you've bought me so many things already.
It's my pleasure.
I guess it'd be moving too fast if I offered to buy it.
We have some very nice compacts here. Perhaps the young lady would like one of these.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Pick out whatever you'd like.
Thank you.
It doesn't look like he's going to introduce us. I'll have to force it, I guess. Clarence?
Yes, Gildersleeve?
That's a nice one your friend is looking at. Don't you think so, miss?
Well, is this gentleman a friend of yours, Clarence?
No, he's no friend of mine.
Clarence is always joking. I've known him for years. Haven't I, Clarence?
Seems like years. You made up your mind, Marie?
Oh, I love this one.
Wrap it up, Mr. Peavy.
Very well.
May I see the one you picked out?
Of course.
Hey, good taste.
Thank you.
We're in a hurry, Marie. Let Mr. Peavy wrap it.
I'll put it in the gift box.
Oh, that will be very nice.
Clarence, your friend has a very interesting accent. It must come from some other place.
Yes, she does.
You do, huh?
Yes, I do.
Well, let me see if I can guess where you're from, Miss, Miss, what'd you say her name is, Clarence?
I didn't say.
Miss, if I knew your name, it'd give me a clue.
Here's your compact, young lady.
Oh, what a pretty box.
Thank you.
Put it on my bill, Mr. Peavy.
Very well.
Shall we go, Marie?
May I buy you and the young lady a soda before you go, Clarence?
No, thanks, Gildersleeve.
Oh, you're very kind to offer.
Yeah, well, it'd give me a chance to place your interesting accent. I hope you don't think I'm forward.
On the contrary, I always considered you a little backward.
Olson.
Goodbye, Mr. Peavy.
Call again.
Bye, Armory.
Oh, Clarence, you're so gallant.
Mr. Gildersleeve, I thought you were going to steal his girl.
How do you like that?
I liked it. I found it very interesting.
Peavy, you know what I'm going to do?
No.
I'm going to outsmart that taffy-haired intern yet.
No, I wouldn't say that.
The Great Gildersleeve will be back in just a minute. Take shrimp, take rice, take a golden cheese sauce made with Kraft's famous pasteurized processed cheese food, Velveeta. Put them all together and you have one of the most delicious and different main dishes you could want. It's shrimp rice biloxi. And here's how you fix it. In the top of your double boiler, melt a half-pound of Velveeta. You'll find that Velveeta melts quickly, perfectly. Now, stir in a third of a cup of milk. And when this mixture is smooth, add a cup and a half of cooked shrimp, cover, and heat. Then, when you're ready to serve, you just pour the Velveeta shrimp mixture over 4 individual rice molds that you've made, and there it is, shrimp rice biloxi. This is just one of the many wonderful main dishes you can make with Velveeta. Main dishes that are delicious because Velveeta has such a fine, rich, yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And main dishes that are nourishing because Velveeta is rich in vital food values from milk. Why, 2 ounces of Velveeta, the amount you get in an average serving, gives you more of milk's vital food values than a big 8-ounce glass of milk. Cook with Velveeta often. You'll find it's a special help now during Lent. Get a 2-pound loaf from your grocer tomorrow so you'll have plenty for sandwiches, too. Just be sure you get genuine Velveeta when you buy. It's the finest quality cheese food you can buy. Velveeta, made only by Kraft.
Well, Mr. Gildersleeve got tired of having Dr. Olson try to steal his girlfriend. So when the good doctor showed up in Mr. Peavy's with a cute blonde, Mr. Gildersleeve decided to turn the tables. Bertie don't know how he's going to turn them when all he knows is the girl's first name.
Operator, give me your manager, Mr. Stark, please.
Now he's trying to get that number's number.
Mr. Stark, this is Throckmorton P. Gildersleeve, City Water Commissioner. I need a little help, so I thought I'd go right to you. I'm trying to get in contact with a young lady whose last name has escaped me. New in town. Potential water customer, you know.
That man.
So I'm wondering if you have any new telephone subscribers with Marie for a first name. No, I don't have her address either.
All he's got is determination.
Yeah, you go ahead and check the list. I'll hold on. Marie. Yeah, I'm still here, Mr. Stark. Yeah, if it'll help any, she does have an accent. It could be French. No, I don't think it's Jones. Goodbye, Mr. Stark, and thank you. The telephone company couldn't help me, Bertie.
No, sir.
Hi, Unc.
Hello, Leroy. Of course, I checked the water turn-ons down at the office first thing.
Well, there's one thing sure, they got to drink water.
Who's got to drink water?
This doesn't concern you, Leroy.
Who does it concern?
And I checked the transfer companies, Bertie, to see who's moved into town.
She got to live somewhere.
Who's got to live somewhere? Who are you trying to find?
The light department hadn't received any order from her.
Maybe she likes to sit around in the dark.
I get it. You're trying to locate an owl.
An owl?
Well, sure. They drink water, have to come from somewhere, and like to sit around in the dark. When they aren't flying.
Oh, my goodness. Leroy, I'm not looking for an owl.
Superwoman?
No.
I didn't think so. Who are you looking for, Unc?
Yeah, I'm trying to get a line on a girl.
Oh, that again.
No, I'm trying to tease Dr. Olson.
Your uncle's trying to give the doctor a dose of his own medicine.
Yeah?
I saw him in Peavy's with a new girl, and he wouldn't introduce us.
Why didn't you just strike up a conversation? Why didn't you walk up and say hi?
Oh.
All Mr. Gildersleeve knows is that her first name is Marie.
Heck, Dick Tracy solved a lot of cases with less than that.
I've got to find out where she lives.
Maybe she lives in a tree.
Believe me, this girl didn't come out of any tree.
Hey, why don't you shadow Dr. Olson? You could follow him to the hospital, right into surgery, even let him operate on you if necessary. Stick with him till you find out.
Mr. Gildersleeve thinks she might be French.
Yeah? Hey, I'm studying French. Take me along as an interpreter.
Interpreter?
I'd say bonjour.
What does that mean?
Hi.
What a help. I'd give anything to get back at Olson. If I had that girl's phone number, I'd call up when he has a date and pester him the way he did me. She seemed willing enough to talk to me in Peavy's. If Olson had given her the chance. Hey, that looks like the girl coming out of Hogan Brothers. Yeah, she's alone. And she's getting in Olson's car. Yeah, it must be serious if he lets her drive his car. Now's my chance. Hey, Miss Marie.
Oh, hello.
Pardon me, but I wonder if you need some help getting out of your parking place.
Oh, you're very kind, but I can manage.
You do remember me, don't you? Commissioner Gildersleeve? In the drugstore? Tried to buy you a soda? Yeah, I mean, volunteered to.
I remember you very well.
Of course, Clarence wouldn't introduce us.
Wasn't he annoying? He doesn't want you to know my name.
Well, in a way, I can't blame him. You're a very lovely young lady.
Thank you.
Of course, I'm not going to press you for your name. Phone number?
I think that's off limits, too.
Well, I give up. If you just give me your address, I'll send a note of apology for trying to meet you.
I've never heard that approach before.
Yeah, all right. I guess I made a fool of myself.
No, you haven't.
Yes, I have. Clarence has probably been running me down. I'm just sorry you formed an opinion of me prematurely.
I have formed an opinion of you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You have?
I think you're a very nice man.
Yeah, but not nice enough to cut in on Clarence.
Oh, maybe.
Well.
What's the saying? If at first you don't succeed, try again?
You're all right. I've tried and tried, but I'll try again. When you start the car, I'll jump on the back bumper and follow you home.
I don't think an important city official should be seen doing that. But if you wish, you may help me out of this parking space.
I may?
Perhaps it is a little tighter than I first realized.
Well, I'll run right around and get behind the wheel. Yeah. You'll have to scoot over a little, Marie.
Oh, yes.
Gildersleeve, you're making progress. You're in Olson's car with his girl.
You can back up about a foot, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Yeah, I've got it all figured out.
Oh! I hope we didn't scratch the paint.
Yeah, well, Clarence is a doctor. He can have some more grafted on.
Well done. Thank you, Mr. Gildersleeve.
You don't want me to drive you home? You're new in Summerfield. Might get lost.
I can manage now. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll get out then.
I'm certain I can find my way home to the Royal Arms, apartment 21.
21? Yeah, I'll remember that. It's your age, I'll bet.
Oh, you are a flatterer.
How about tonight at 8?
Tonight at 8. I'll tell Clarence I have a headache.
I just assume he knows.
What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
Hey, now. Yellow
Mr. Gildersleeve?
By George, it's turned out to be a fine afternoon.
You don't say.
Yeah, I just pulled a fast one.
You look like the cat that ate the canary.
You bet. Remember that pretty girl Olson wouldn't introduce me to?
Oh, my, yes.
Well, I have a date with her tonight. The water commissioner's turning on the pressure.
Well, don't turn on too much pressure. You may burst a pipe.
Oh, I know what I'm doing. She was going out with Olson tonight. She's going to say she has a headache.
Yeah, that's you.
All right, Petey. It just shows I can take his girls away as easy as he can take mine. Easier.
Well, if you're going courting, how about taking along a box of candy?
Oh, I'm not courting. You know Grace Tuttle is still tops on my hit parade.
It's quite a parade. Miss Kelly, Miss Henshaw, Miss Tuttle.
Yeah, and Olson's tried to cut me out with all of them.
Well, a little candy might help out. If you don't have enough sweet talk, offer her sweet meat.
Oh, what the heck. Wrap up a 1-pound box.
Oh, Mr. Gildersleeve, if you're trying to worry Dr. Olson, I'd give his girl about $5 worth. Not that I'm thinking about the profit.
Oh, no.
If you take a big box, he'll have to come up with a bigger box.
Say, you're using your head, Petey.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey. Give me one of those 5-pounders with a purple bow on it.
Here you are.
Oop, Petey, hide the candy. Here's Grace.
Well, you hide it. You bought it.
Over.
Hello, Miss Peavy.
Hello, Miss Tuttle.
And Throckmorton. What a pleasant surprise.
Hello, Grace.
I didn't expect you. Now, Throckmorton, are you hiding something?
Well, your briefcase.
Oh, what a pretty purple bow on it.
I have an idea he didn't want you to see that. It's probably a gift.
Yeah, that's right. I was saving it for a surprise.
Well, she's surprised.
I certainly am.
Here, Grace, with my compliments. I was going to give it to you later.
Don't you want to wait and give it to me tonight?
Well, I can't come by this evening. That's why I wanted to give it to you now.
But you said you were going to give it to me later.
Well,
how will he get out of this one?
I was going to give it to you on my way home when I stopped to tell you I couldn't see you later.
He got out of it. Something I can do for you, Miss Tuttle?
Well, I came in for some candy, Mr. Peavy, but now I won't have to buy any.
My.
Goodbye. Phone me, Throckmorton.
Yeah, all right, Grace. Ta-ta.
Call again.
Well, Peavy, you got beat out of a candy sale.
No, I didn't.
What?
You still have to buy some for Dr. Olson's girl.
See, revenge is expensive. Marie lives in a nice apartment building. Yeah, I guess it was a dirty trick to phone the hospital and leave word for Clarence to come by here. You're sly, Gildersleeve.
Good evening, Mr. Gildersleeve.
Hello, Marie.
Won't you come in, please?
Thank you. Yeah, I hope you like candy.
Oh, I love it. How thoughtful of you to bring it. Shall I get my coat?
Well, why don't we just stick around the apartment for a while?
As you wish.
Yeah, I'd like to know more about you.
Well, there isn't much to tell.
Your accent still intrigues me. I can tell you're not a native.
Oh, yes, I am. Most of my family is in Minnesota.
You didn't pick up that accent in Minnesota.
I have lived in Europe.
Yeah, I knew it. What language do you speak beside broken English?
What language do you wish to hear?
You speak more than one?
Oh, 4 or 5. Connaissez-vous la langue française?
What's that?
Sind Sie in Deutschland oder das Unterland gewesen? Nee. Ik ben zeker dan dat u nooit Hollands hebt kunnen leren. Niet waar?
That's enough. She sounds like the United Nations. I wish Olson would show up.
Now, you tell me something about yourself.
Well, as you know, I'm the water commissioner.
And a confirmed bachelor?
Well, I haven't been put over a barrel yet.
Perhaps you haven't met the right woman.
Well...
Oh, excuse me. I'll answer the door.
Zeke saved by the buzzer.
Why, Clarence.
Hello, Marie.
Yeah, wait until he sees me. He'll blow his top.
Didn't expect you, Clarence.
But I got a message. Well, who's this? Gildersleeve?
Hello, Clarence. If you're after a date, you're a little late.
Well, I did plan to take Marie to a movie, but she said she had a headache.
I guess I told a fib.
What's this all about?
Clarence, I hope you don't mind my cutting you out this evening.
Oh, that's all right, Gildersleeve. Let's just say the better man won.
Yes, indeed. And it's very sporting of you to say that.
Marie, do you really want to go out with this fella tonight?
I find him very interesting.
All right. I know when to bow out. I'll be on my way.
Yeah, you'd better be on your way. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Clarence.
Goodbye.
He isn't as upset as I thought he'd be.
After I wouldn't go to the movie, he made a date tonight.
He did?
With a girl named Grace Tuttle.
Grace Tuttle?
He was glad to get rid of me for an evening.
Well, then you're not his girlfriend?
I'm not supposed to tell you, but I'm his sister.
Great Gildersleeve will be with us again in just 30 seconds. Why let lunchbox sandwiches be a problem? Make sure the sandwiches you fix are delicious and hearty, too. Make them with Velveeta, Kraft's famous pasteurized processed cheese food. Velveeta gives you sandwiches with a wonderful, rich, and yet mild cheddar cheese flavor. And Velveeta sandwiches are nourishing because Velveeta is so rich in vital food values from milk. Whether they're for Dad or the youngsters, lunchbox sandwiches you make with Velveeta will be perfect. Tomorrow, get Velveeta, made only by Kraft.
Hey, Unc, are you going out with Dr. Olson's sister again tonight?
Well, she wanted to, but I'm going to a Red Cross meeting. To heck with women.
Giving them up, huh?
Well, the Red Cross needs workers to put over their drive for new members and more funds.
I know. Miss Tuttle told us about that in school.
Good. Everybody should get behind the Red Cross. You know, my boy, the Red Cross has always been a symbol of hope for disaster victims, soldiers, veterans, and civilians who need emergency aid. And to maintain their services during the coming year, they'll need $85 million at least. So this year, I, for one, am going to work harder than ever.
Good, Unc, and that'll help you forget women.
Yeah, well, I have to go. Have a meeting with the chairman.
Yeah? Who is the chairman this year?
Well, Miss Tuttle.
Character.
Good night, folks.
The Great Gildersleeve is played by Willard Waterman and is an NBC Radio Network production. The show is written by John Elliott and Andy White and is transcribed. Included in the cast are Walter Tetley, Lillian Randolph, Mary Shipp, Gladys Holland, George Neese, and Dick LeGrand. Musical compositions by Jack Meakin. This is John Heaston saying goodnight for the Kraft Foods Company, makers of the famous line of Kraft quality food products. Be sure to listen in next week and every week for the further adventures of the Great Gildersleeve.
Here it is, the best soup idea in years. In the top of a double boiler, add a can of condensed tomato soup to an equal quantity of water. Then, when the soup is piping hot, stir in the contents of an 8-ounce jar of Kraft's Cheese Whiz. It's a delicious combination, a creamy blend of your favorite cheese and tomato flavors. Enjoy it as the main part of a lunch or supper, or as an appetizer before dinner. This is just one of dozens of quick tricks you can do with this pasteurized processed cheese spread, Cheese Whiz. Tomorrow, get tomato soup and Kraft's Cheese Whiz.
Now play You Bet Your Life with Groucho Marx on the NBC Radio Network.